right, everybody, welcome to another awesome Lightning Strikes Twice, the short version of our longer lightning rounds where it's one topic apiece. We have 5 minutes to discuss. And Casey, you have the first topic.
All right. This is, I guess, politics, sort of, but what are your thoughts on Washington, D.C.? Should it become a state or should it just be like completely zone commercial and just kick all the people out?
Uh, Boy, I think it's fine
It's
for
kind of
people.
just there for government stuff, you
Well,
know?
it is. It really is, and it does make sense for it to be kind of like completely separate and not a state. I know people have talked about it, but it's like it's actually really tiny. Um,
Really tiny. Yeah,
I
it's a
would, I
state.
would, yeah, yeah. What I'd like to see become a state would be like the territories that are
Right.
that are kind of in limbo. Basically, those need to become states, especially the ones that have been, they've been there for so long. They're not really represented. I'd love to see that.
But
Um,
DC in particular, like because it is such a hub of the government and everything, like and actually quite populous, I guess, for a city.
yeah, it is. Yeah.
Like there's a lot of people crammed in there and stuff. Like I I can see the argument for giving them representation
Mm.
separate from, like it you can't even like pick a state that it kind of lies within, right? Like it's on the
Yeah.
border of a few different. So like rather than politicize it in this already dichotomous landscape of I guess you call it politics. Uh,
Hmm.
um, I don't know that that would be a good idea to like arm DC with even more political power.
I
Uh,
agree. I agree. It should really be more. There really shouldn't even be like residents there, other than people who are in politics, like
that's what I
representatives. They may
think.
have like a
Like a
temporary
hotel or
residence.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hotels or rentals or something like that. That kind of thing. It is weird that there's permanent residents there. It just, I don't know. It's kind of. I mean, I guess it makes sense because before it really became DC proper, there were people living there. It was like carved out from other
Right.
states. So it's
Well,
kind of like,
and people had to get to work and, back before cars and buses and trains were really
yeah.
like ubiquitous, let's say,
Hmm.
it kind of made sense. But now
Well,
I
and
say drive them all out.
I kind of agree. Unless maybe it's like, well, you'd have like all rentals essentially, and it would be maybe for like the staff that work in DC and the representatives that do stuff in DC, like that all the it'd be like the only people that really should be living there are people who are like doing stuff for DC, basically, for like governmental stuff. Um,
Right.
it really shouldn't be a state, and it should just stay the way it is. And I'd rather see some other things become states instead. There's plenty of places that ought to be states, and it's like, why are they not states?
Yeah.
We have all these islands and stuff. I mean, Hawaii is a state. So why not
Right.
Guam and Puerto Rico and
Puerto
that kind
Rico,
of thing?
yeah. Well,
You
I
know?
think that's also a political move, and they really should be states because, I mean, I can't think of a really good argument why not.
Yeah.
You know, other than then they would have representation
Mhm.
uh, in a little bit more capacity than I think they can vote, right?
I don't know. I know they
But
can vote internally, but I don't
but
think
they
they vote
don't have
nationally.
like actual representatives like in
Yeah,
the Senate and the House and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
But
exactly.
I think they can vote. But I mean, still, like what you need is that. Well, what we all need is representation, and we don't have it.
Yep.
Uh,
Well, and gerrymandering, thank you for that. Like
right.
it screws it up.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think DC should just it should just be a hub, a corporate style hub. Where, businesses and everybody that lives there is like doing stuff within government, that kind of
Yeah.
thing, and you
I
don't
like
need
how you say
people.
corporate style for the government. That's
It,
very on
we're a
point.
corporatocracy. That's the thing. It's like very much the case. I mean, we might as well just admit it, right?
Right.
It's yeah. But yeah,
Welcome to the Thomas Jefferson Hotel.
exactly.
Would you like the Uncle Sam package?
Yeah, yeah. I think it would be better to, yeah, hotels and rentals and condo type of stuff and whatever down there would make a lot more sense than having people that live there. It's just I don't know. If I lived there, I'd be like miserable. It
Yeah,
just doesn't sound like a great place to live. And I mean, I guess it's kind of crime ridden and it's just it's awful. Like what who would want to actually live there?
right.
You know? Like I'd
I've
be
never been there, well, apart from like a layover, but um, yeah, I mean,
oh, that's
you know,
time. That's a good one, man. That's
yeah.
yeah, I like that. Because I know lots of people keep chatting on and on about, oh, we should make it a state, and like, nah,
I've heard
bro.
plenty about that, but I've never heard anyone go the opposite way and say just like boot everybody out, like
Yeah,
if they're already shoveling the homeless out of there, just get everybody out of there. Just
yeah,
like
yeah. If you're not working in DC for like the government, then get out. You know,
yeah.
why not? All
Yeah.
right. So my topic, it doesn't really have a category. I guess it'll be tomfoolery or something. Um, region locking on like Blu-rays and
Oh
DVDs.
God. I I hate that. That makes absolutely no sense to me.
It's bullshit. Yeah. They're kind of arbitrary and
Yeah.
yeah, you
It's
get
like
something.
five different regions or something. Like the
Well,
UK's got its own thing, and then the US, and
mhm.
then parts of Europe and parts of Asia, and then Canada and Australia or something. And like,
Yeah, well, they're following. So back in the day, like, back when we had VHSs and stuff,
mhm.
there was a very good reason for like the things not being compatible, and that's the television standard. So you had NTSC in the US, you had like PAL over in Europe and stuff, CCAM in Asia and stuff like that. And the dimensions and the frequency was different. So it's like you could put a VHS in and it would be all wonky and stuff. But now, I mean, it's all digital. So it's like it can
All
easily adapt.
standardized too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, why have that? And another thing, we watched a movie last night and there's all these ads in the beginning for like movies. And it was an older movie. So it's like old stuff that you already know about. And it's
Yep.
just like, you can't skip. Like, dude, just give me to the movie. Like, at least, like, it's fine to have the ads, right? To have it
Mhm.
start, but I should be able to just hit menu and skip all that because it's like, yeah, I've seen this. Okay, fine. I've seen
Yeah.
this 100 times. I don't want to see it again. It's very annoying.
I thought you could skip those.
Some players do allow that, but
Huh.
not all of them. It's
Yeah.
like only like certain types that are kind of fancy or whatever, but they kind of it's super annoying. All the like
I, I
unskippable ads.
I tell you what, like on the whole, I would actually like to see physical media make a comeback,
Hmm.
but stuff like that is super annoying. So like if they are gonna make a comeback, they have to get rid of that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep. No. Well, and at this point, it's like, well, people are accustomed to watching whatever, wherever, other than
yeah,
like Netflix or something. That's I mean, different locations. If you're logged into Netflix, will have a different selection of video
yeah.
content.
And
It's like,
that's also kind of stupid because all you do is hop on a VPN and boom, all
yeah,
of a sudden you've got access to
yeah,
something else.
exactly. It's like stupid because it's like, oh, you can easily bypass that for basically for free.
Yeah.
There's free VPNs out there and stuff. Yeah, like I I would, like you said, I would love to see physical media make a comeback, and in a way it kind of is. There's a lot more people realizing the ephemeral nature of online content, like Netflix, for instance. You're watching it. I was watching Reading Rainbow way back in the day when I had an account, and so I'm going through every season of Reading Rainbow because they had it there. And then one day I took a little bit of a break, couple weeks or something, and I came back one day and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna finish going through Reading Rainbow, and it's gone.
Yeah.
They took it
Yeah.
off, and I'm like, what shit? What? Like I was in the middle of that. I wanted to keep watching, and they keep cycling things, and I understand they have server storage space and stuff, but it's like uh, it's annoying. So that's why it's like, hey, if I buy all seasons of Reading Rainbow on DVD or something like that, I have it, and I can always watch it.
Yep.
You know, and people are starting to do that more and more, going back and getting physical media, vinyls of albums, and like going and buying things on Blu-ray or DVD, whatever you can, and stuff like that. And
I mean,
it,
the
obviously,
convenience of the digital stuff is nice, but um, I, it's it's seriously irritating. Like the movie watching experience has really changed.
yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
like back in the day, you would go to Blockbuster or Home Video Express or whatever,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you'd like walk around and smell the popcorn and hear some
Yep.
music and look at movies and stuff and pick something you could read about the movie without having it like autoplay part of
Yeah.
the movie, eh,
Hmm.
all loud and shit. And now all this stuff is like in your face, constantly changing, mostly B movies that nobody cares about.
Yeah.
And you'll spend 2 hours just looking through movies that are all crap and
I
then get
know.
tired and never watch a movie. Like that's
Exactly.
most
You're
of what
right
I
about
do.
that, because like you have to scroll and scroll, and
Yeah,
it's not, it's like curated in a
makes me
weird way.
dizzy.
Well, yeah, but like like when you went to Blockbuster, you'd go to like the horror section, and there's all these DVDs, and you could just kind of,
Yeah.
or scour around, and you'd see something like, oh, that looks interesting, and it was
The
quick
worst is
anyway.
you'd get a little sore neck from like reading the titles.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Well, that's time.
And
Man, I do miss that. That was a great experience. And
mhm.
yeah, dude. Oh well, maybe it'll come back. I mean, there is that one kind of Blockbuster, the one remaining one that's just kind of privately owned,
Hmm.
in like Oregon, I think. That's more
Oh,
of like
really?
an experience than it is a Blockbuster, but you can rent stuff from it, so that's kind of neat.
Hmm.
Maybe that'll catch on. Who knows? hard
Hopefully.
hard to say, but yeah. All right. Well, hopefully everybody enjoyed those. Share your comments down there, whatever you think about either of these topics, and we'll be back next week for another one. So see y'all then.